Hey everybody, it's Ortex, and welcome to an episode of me rambling about comics. Anyways, this video is like called the retrospective, at least in the thumbnail. But is it? I don't know. I honestly just put that there to put something. But anyways, we are looking deep into this comic called U.S. War Machine. This comic is so weird looking, it's fucking crazy. It's also a Max comic from 2002, which if you don't know Marvel's Max comics, you might know Nick Fury Max, where he rips someone's intestines out and strangles them with it. I can't show that on YouTube. Skunk emoji. I don't know why there's a skunk emoji on the script. Basically just an excuse for Marvel to make 18+ edgy comics that were just really gory and stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure Luke Cage was like a pimp or something. Like, that's just don't do that. Like, he wouldn't do that. Like, but anyways, this comic is really weird. I cannot. So I just want to talk about it, and it's like funky 3D art style that throws me off extremely. So anyways, like and subscribe, and let me show you this strange comic. Okay, so basically, we start off with a Tony Stark press conference where he states, "Instead, I will keep the War Machine technology for myself, integrating it into a personal defense system that will be exclusively for my benefit and the benefit of those I love." He says that he will be taking basically the War Machine technology for himself only. And by the way, you can't tell me this text bubble isn't the most Tony Stark, like, selfish Tony Stark shit ever. He's like, "I won't sell the weapons to the military, but I will use them for my own personal gain." Which then segues into his own personal bodyguard, the Iron Man. And what the fuck is that? I don't know what that is. Why does it look like a rabies squirrel? Like, you can keep the acorns to yourself, buddy. I don't know what you want. The black and white 3D art style doesn't help either. He just looks really strange. Like, why does his mouth look like that? If he had bright colors, it could maybe fix it. But even then, this design is fucked from the go. If I say you will never see the War Machine armor, you will never see the War Machine armor. And he stands beside this creature. Okay, then the next page is a spread that I actually really think is really good, that encapsulates that 3D art can be really good in like some contexts. And yeah, so what's the name of the comic again? War Machine. There is my boy War Machine. I love War Machine personally. I have like 5 War Machine action figures for like a lot of War Machine stuff. Like, I have like 6 War Machine action figures. I love War Machine. And that's kind of why I started looking into this comic. I mean, first of all, it was because of the Doctor Doom video where I was looking at Doctor Doom suits, and the one from this series came out. But yeah, just in general, I just really like War Machine, so I wanted to read the comic. I wish I didn't, but it is what it is. Now I get a video. Basically, in this panel, a woman is kidnapped and by AIM, and War Machine, it comes to help her. Can I convince you to let her go? See, this part is actually kind of funny. Like, what is that face? And then she just starts crying. This is actually kind of funny. When I read the comic, I thought, oh, it's gonna be kind of funny, isn't it? There's not that many moments that are like this. No. Anyways, War Machine fooshes the thing over. Then War Machine kicks the trunk, and MODOK apparently was just in the back of the truck. What the fuck? I could not tell that from the earlier panel. MODOK's design here is also like amazing. We'll get into that later. But he looks so fucking stupid. Like, I cannot. Like, he did look so dumb here. Like, he's just flying out of the back. Imagine you're driving down the freeway, and next thing you know, you see a truck flip, which is bad in and of itself. But then you see this thing coming at you. This also causes, like, I'm not joking, like a 20-car pileup. This is worse hero work than the beginning of TASM 2, where he kills 30 people. It's actually literally the same thing. Wait, the terrorist. Yes, the terrorist is giving himself up. Well, never fucking mind. He can't give himself up if he's dead. Anyways, next panel is 2 girls in bikinis walk up to War Machine and ask him for a picture. This is how you tell it's a Max comic, because what the fuck are they doing there? Is there a beach next to the freeway that there was just an accident on? I don't know what the writer was thinking, but he has thoughts, I think. This is like the beginning of an issue in the comic. I don't want to like call it like sexist all out, but I mean, it just like doesn't know how to. I don't think the writer knows how to write women. I'm gonna be honest. I'm like, why are they even there? Like they put them there purely just for the writer's own weird warnings for it because it's a Max comic. That's like, it's just really weird. That was the first issue in a nutshell. It just gets worse from here. Mr. Stark's office. No, I'm sorry, Mr. Secretary. He is in an important meeting. Yes, I'm sure that's foremost on his mind, sir. No, it wasn't Iron Man. No, sir. It was War Machine. Yes, there's a difference. This part I like also because, like, people be mixing up War Machine and Iron Man, which I get because sometimes Iron Man does switch up his color scheme once in a while. But usually you can deter War Machine by who looks cooler, because I'm not kidding, 10 times out of 10, he looks cooler. I'm totally not biased. He just looks cool. And also, I didn't really touch on the art style a lot. The art style is definitely a choice. I think the writer, what's his name again? Let me check. Chuck Austin. He had more background in 3D art, so I guess it makes sense to do it like this. But in 2003, this technology was not ready. I just don't know if it's the 3D art with the black and white that's makes it bad, but like, I don't want to say it's bad because that's subjective, of course, but come on. Like, sometimes it looks like normal, like fine, it looks pretty good actually, but sometimes no. Sometimes it just doesn't. You're fired, Jim. Yeah, I figured when I got here and my parking space was gone. 7 people died. Yes, thank you, Tony. I was there. Would it have killed you not to drink before? Anyway, Rhodes plays this off like pretty nonchalantly. This is the face of a man who just killed 7 people. Also, it's not gonna be a Max story with Iron Man if he's not a complete alcoholic. Classic Tony Stark fact. You would think there would be like repercussions for killing 7 people, like not military-wise, but getting arrested-wise. But also that highway should have been flooded with cops. I don't know what's going on in this universe. I'm sorry, Jim, but Mr. Stark called personally to tell me not to validate your park. Oh, no, that's next level hated. Anyways, when Rhodey goes back to his apartment, Rhodey's friend that stole a suit earlier or something. How the fuck do you steal a War Machine suit? That confuses me. But anyways, like, did he just stroll into wherever it was and just, like, walk out with it? I cannot. Like, why? And also, does this guy not watch the news? War Machine just killed 7 people, and there's only 1 War Machine. You didn't think he would have, like, been fired or something? I don't know. Anyways, the next funny panel from the comic comes here. Basically, Rhodey opens the door, there's a bunch of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, he's like, hello, how's it going? And then he closes the door. I like that. Genuinely, the funniest panel I've ever seen out of this comic. It's kind of comedy gold. That's where the comedy peaks, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, by the way, this is what I mean by when the art style can peak, because this looks amazing. The helicarrier in this looks awesome. Sally in this is called the Sky Carrier, which is, you know, way less cool, but it's whatever. It's later explained that Parnell's wife, the guy that was Rhodey's friend, got kidnapped, and that was why he wanted the suit from Rhodey. But also, going to your friend and putting a gun to his head seems less rational than being like, hey, my friend who's also a War Machine, help me please. So how does this thing stay up? It uses, you know, gravity things. This right here is next level dialogue. So then it's revealed that AIM kidnapped his wife Glenda because she worked for them on science, and they knew that Parnell had the other War Machine suit that Rhodey, Tony Stark, and get this, Victor Von Doom were working on. And because of that, they kidnapped her, or something like that. How it's typed out in the comic is really confusing. This comic's like writing level is like, I'd give it like a 2. Anyways, Parnell sold the suit to Hydra. And then Fury, in this issue, Fury also reveals he has 3 War Machine suits. Then Fury asks him this: were the killings racially motivated? What the fuck is this? I think this book is trying to have like some commentary on racism, but it doesn't do it well enough to like have anything significant. Anyways, next, like, Nick Fury's like, we want you to run spec ops groups of War Machines, and Rhodey's like, okay. And that's basically the book. That's like a rough summary of the book, basically. So issue 3 ends with Parnell killing a racist. I cannot. Always love to see that happen. Then right at the beginning of issue 4, Rhodey is looking at the new War Machine armor and says to Dugan something that I actually really like. This little dialogue section gives like part of his character that I actually think are like kind of good. It might just be like the best written like couple sentences in the whole book, and like that's it. It says like, I liked being a bodyguard. I liked wearing the armor. Right from the beginning. When we did it just to get out of the area, all the way through to Iron Man. When I got out of the military, I wanted to be a man of peace. For my mom, I guess. She was so influenced by King, but there are bad people out there. And inside I know I have to take them out. The War Machine isn't the suit. It's the man inside this. It's actually pretty good. The War Machine character, the War Machine isn't just a machine to do kill. I think that's like a thing with every superhero. It's like their mantle or their weapons aren't just to cause harm. It's the will of a person on the inside to want to do something good and take those bad people out, I guess. And it gives so much more insight to Rhodey's character, how Rhodey feels after he got out of the military. Sadly, this is the most substance that this comic and I think has. Honestly, I think I could write better. Anyways, we start meeting the crew that Rhodey will be taking care of, like Nathan Manning. He's yelling. I guess he had every movie military training, I guess. And basically Parnell's a part of this team. And there's another funny moment here, like in those military movies or movies with the military, they always have like to yell at the commanding officer or whatever. Is that in real life? I don't know. Do I want to do my research? Also Rhodey's face in this panel is super fun. So then a 13-year-old fits the War Machines into their suits. This has to be child labor. And it's like, why does he talk like this? Like he says, "Isn't she hot? I just think she is so hot." Shut the fuck up, man. Shut up. Who writes? This feels like the writer has just never talked to a teenager before. Maybe this is just like how the character is supposed to be, and he's just like a weirdo, which he is coming up. He definitely is. Like, why would he be talking to this about someone he just met? He could just be socially annoying, and a lot of teenagers are like that, not including myself. It's not a self. By the way, I'd like to point out that the covers of this comic are beautiful. Like, look at the covers for issue 5. That shit's amazing. It's so colorful, and then you look at the comic itself, and it's like, looks like a fucking wax statue. Then it's revealed that Darkhawk was a vigilante who was made by S.H.I.E.L.D. off of copied Stark tech, but now he's defunct and mentally unstable and kind of just kept in a room for the time being, which is definitely a choice for Darkhawk. It's definitely something. Honestly, I don't know that much about Darkhawk. If it was a character I really knew, I would be commentating a lot more, but I feel like this could have just be an original character, like Evil Wingman. Like, you could I'd call him that, Evil Wingman. You know, I'm gonna call him Evil Wingman. And then Rhodey goes to recruit the last War Machine, whose name is Joseph. Now, Joseph's is a woman. And how do you think this Max comic from the early 2000s introduces her? Is it number 1, like the others, where she meets Rhodey in front of the War Machines? Number 2, does a backflip in front of Rhodey and does a cool pose. Number 3, Rhodey finds her and talks to her about being in the War Machines normally. Or is it number 4? Rhodey walks in on her naked, and the full page is the focus of that. I'll give you guys some time. Of course it's fucking number 4. It wouldn't be a Max comic without unnecessary nudity and objectification. And then the next page, Rhodey starts to imagine her naked while she's just standing in the suit. It's definitely like showing its age. I think it's not very good. By the way, I think she has like literally 2 text bubbles in this time, and this is all they focus on about her, which is why I kind of wanted to call it sexist before, because it definitely feels like it, at least to me. Okay, then they go into a meeting, and I'll read this little panel. We know they're planning some form of ethnic cleansing of non-whites at their main HQ, but how they plan to cleanse them, we don't know. Our intel is limited at the main AIM complex is well fortified on foreign soil. So now AIM is planning to do an ethnic cleansing of any non-white people at their HQ in Latveria, and Doom doesn't know that they're there, which I don't know how. He runs Latveria. I'm pretty sure he just
family got DVD.
But anyways, this part of the thing, like, they go to the AIM base there later, but they don't really like pick up on this part of the comic that much. I mean, the commentary on here is that racism. That's the commentary. There's no like substance to it. It's like I feel like the writer's just doing this because it's a Max comic, and I know I've said that a lot, but it's just what it is. And I also like to point out that the writer Chuck Austin does not have the greatest reputation. I kind of see why and how he writes his characters. Like, he just writes his characters like one singular archetype. Like, that one guy who was yelling is just like kind of not like a goody two shoes, but he's like just overly over the top kind of. And Parnell's like hard-headed, which like that's one character trait, but it's doesn't really expand on anything else. I guess he loves his wife too. 2 character traits. Let's go. When I mean like he focuses on archetypes, like he introduces his only main female character that's on the team by being walked in on while she's naked. Portrays the only teenager in the book as a 24/7 horn dog. It just seems like he doesn't know how to write characters. And it's not like Rhodey isn't developed, but it also seems like the writer just kind of phoned it in. It's 5 issues into the story, and barely anything has happened yet besides like the characters going like, "Aim bad, Dr. Doom. He's there. Racism?" ? So now they're going to Latveria, and Rhodey imagines Joseph naked again. Let's get objectification counter up on the screen. It's up to, just put it as 3. By the way, she has had barely dialogue this whole time. And actually, all of her dialogue is just talking to Rhodey, which I don't know, like, I feel like you should build a team up more, you know what I mean? Because the team like barely talks to each other. And then we get this actual gem of an interaction from the team. Nathan farted. I did not. Whoever smelt it dealt it. Fantastic red. Who doesn't love fart jokes? So they land to stop AIM and get Purnell's wife, and it's revealed that the dumbass 13-year-old who built their suit put the power cell directly in the center of the body mass. So basically, if they get shot in their most vulnerable and most obvious spot, they're fucked. That's it. Anyway, during the mission, some bad shit goes down. They low-key are getting their ass kicked when Rhodey pulls off one of the AIM guard's mask, and it's the guy who killed in the first issue. And I think it's a cloning situation or something like that, but they never explain it at all. And is the other AIM guards him? Guess what? They don't explain that either. Then they find Parnell's wife, and I have to reiterate that something in this art style does not work at all. He looks like a child on the ground having a tantrum. Then they try to leave, but the idiots leave Parnell's wife behind, and Parnell tries to go back to save her, and then Rhodey pulls his core out of his suit to stop him. That is so fucked up. Bro's just trying to save his wife. I know he's like an asshole and he might get himself killed because of that, but like, come on. Then when they asked the kid why he put the power cells in the suit, like in the middle of the suit, he says, it just looks so cool right there, you know, the way the lights up and all. And back at the sky, he says because it looked cool. He's supposed to be a genius. Also, this poses the question of why Iron Man's arc reactor is in the middle of his chest. Like, if you think someone has like a really powerful weapon enough to like hit him in the chest, why not deactivate the arc reactor? But anyways, now we are more than halfway through the comic, and the story quality is not looking up to the art quality. This shit is just pure ass cheeks. They barely have done anything. I came in wanting a War Machine story, but I got a Idiot Machine story. They killed like 40 AIM guards, got their ass kicked, and then they ran away, and now Parnell's wife is dead, and at least I think so, and one of the War Machines got his hand blown off. This shit's ass. Okay, then there's the one piece of character development. After Parnell's wife dies, like, he's obviously distraught, and one of the other members does actually, like, comfort him, which is, like, it's more than this comic, it's more than I was expecting from this comic. It's actually a good moment. A little bit of character development, and seeing that he doesn't, an actual character moment. I would have never seen it coming. Now, after the shenanigans at the freeway, MODOK was captured by AIM and he used to run AIM, but now I guess someone else is running AIM because he's gone, and I'm sorry, but the comic storytelling is so poor. It's sad. It doesn't, like, go into depth of what's happening. It's like you have to like guess. Like when they were going to the AIM thing, I was like, okay, they're gonna stop the ethnic cleansing, but they don't bring it up again. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, Fury now has control over MODOK or something because he commands him to talk or something. And listen, I'm trying my best. This comic is so weird. Now he wants Rhodey to use MODOK against AIM. So yeah, a little bit of irony there, I guess. I cannot. I think the writer finally took a English class halfway through writing this piece of shit. Anyway, AIM's whole plan basically is to kill all other races except the white people. AIM be experimenting on stuff in the comics. In this comic, they're just like racist. Like that's the end of their character motivation. They just are racist, which I'm not saying like isn't what happens in real life, because it definitely is what happens in real life. He like doesn't really expand on it or whatever, but it is what it is. So then they break into. Basically, the guy that they captured that might be a clone says patient 0 will be infected within 48 hours to test, basically testing the race killing potion or something. Once begin, there will be no cure, no turning back. Nothing can save the African race. Yeah, these guys are just racist, pack them. So they break into AIM facility, blah blah blah. Then Rhodey has a sit down with the main AIM guy, and he's like, yeah, I'm racist, but I'm smart. And then an AIM guard brings out Glinda, who Rhodey thought was dead, and they put a gun to her head, and this shit's so convoluted and boring. Oh my God. Then Nathan gets shot, but I really don't care, because every character in this comic is either racist, almost racist, an asshole, or a stereotype, or bland. And that's it. Basically, the main bad guy, no, that's not the clone. The clone guy is not the main bad guy. I don't know what the fuck is happening. This is the end of the comic, by the way. Did you realize we skipped, like, a little bit? Because that's what happened. Anyways, the bad guy says, I am not a white supremacist. I am simply a pragmatist, a realist. Non-white races are inferior. That is a fact. This is the worst villain ever. He's just an idiot. What do you mean you're not a white supremacist? Yes, you are. This motherfucker contradicts himself in the next sentence. And they don't say how Glenn is alive, if she was actually killed by AIM, or if the explosion hurt her, or whatever. Honestly, I don't care. Story's an infuriating mess. It doesn't explain things or expand on what's happening at all. Then the best part of the comic, when Parnell finds out his wife is alive, he gets mad, at MODOK and asks him why he's not there and why MODOK isn't going helping Rhodey. And MODOK's response to this is the greatest panel of all time. This is my favorite panel of all time. I'm not kidding. This is MODOK. I'm in telepathic communication with Captain Rhodes, which makes him uncomfortable. Though, he sees the value he has. Operative instructions. He has operative instructions, if you are ready to receive them. Glenda's alive? You said my wife is alive? What are you doing out here? I cannot fit through the door. This is the greatest panel of all time. It is so unbelievably funny for no reason. I cannot fit through the door is my favorite line in any media. I hope you guys know I'll be referencing this panel from now on and nothing can stop. Anyways, forgot to mention this earlier, but there's literally test tubes with racist labeled. And the comic does not a good explaining with what the test tubes are or why they need them. Like, they're gonna add anti-Italian juice to, like, the water system that kills all the Italians or something. It doesn't explain the plan. I don't know what's happening. That's it. I don't know what's going on. The problem with this comic is more that I'm confused on what the mode of, like, why things are happening or why they're going to do stuff. It's not like there isn't a world where a story about a pure evil villain is impossible to write or is a bad thing, but it's just written poorly. Anyways, now there's another part of the comic that's actually, like, not that bad. It's at the end of the conversation with the white supremacist, and he calls War Machine Stark thinking he's Tony, and this guy's a fucking idiot. It's the goat, Rhodey. Stark's a dumb alcoholic. Why would this guy even think he was fucking War Machine? Anyways, he shows him his face, and then this awesome panel of the horrific 3D art is there. It conveys his emotions correctly. I'll give it the art that. It does convey that he was shocked that someone who we thought was inferior to him actually defeated him, which I like that part. Then Doom pops up and is real mad. I don't know why it took him so long to finally get here, but it did. And then he force chokes Rhodey. I have no clue what the fuck is going on. I guess magic, but whatever. Or I guess he's controlling War Machine's machine, if that makes sense. I'm not talking about his ding-a-ling. Don't get that twisted. Then MODOK and Doom are in the middle of a battle, and MODOK fucking explodes. What the hell is going on? It looks so funny. It looks so weird. I'm not even gonna say anything else. Just look at this. Observe this panel. Then Joseph finally has a line where she holds the Jewish test tube up. This comic's so weird. How honorable would it be to fight a man, possibly kill a man who has just saved you, whatever family you might have, and most of your entire populace? Basically, she's like, hey, you would have died if Rhodey didn't come to stop these AIM guys, you idiot. And Doom is like, okay. Also, the test tube, I'm sorry. I mean, what do you mean there's the test tube late? They're gonna put the anti-Italian juice in the pizza sauce. And basically, to the War Machines, Dr. Doom is like, okay, I'm wrong. Go leave then. Anyways, the racist guy, Doom's like, leave the racist. And they're like, okay. And we all know what happens if you get it on Dr. Doom's bad side. He doesn't explode the racist guy, though. He actually crucifies him. I'm not joking. He actually does that. That's in this comic. I'm not gonna show that because YouTube's gonna try to crucify me. That's what happened. You can go read the comic for yourself. That's what happened. Should normalize crucifying racists, though. Let's start a new camp. Then the comic ends with Rhodey saying that the woman on the bridge dying was a good thing because it saved the world, which he's not wrong, but you don't gotta say that out loud, you know what I mean? Then it teases the sequel, which I will not be reading, because no MODOK I know read. I cannot fit through the door. But yeah, that's the comic. I wanted to read it because of the silly MODOK panel, but I'm really just disappointed in full. This shit was ass. All the characters suck. The themes they try to tackle weren't tackled in the ways that they should have been at all. I just personally did not like it. It aged horribly. You can tell it's written by just some edgy white dude in the early 2000s. The writer, as a whole, was probably like, I feel like he was like, oh my god, it's a Max book, I can be edgy, make the villain racist, and then just didn't build on it at all or have any good commentary at all. I also don't like the team angle of the book. Like, Rhodey is War Machine and that should be it. It's like if a Thor story centered around Odin recruiting different Asgardians and giving them Mjolnirs, and none of the team members are interesting enough to warrant them being in the story or being War Machines. I give it half a star. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe and follow my Twitter if you want. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I might do more videos like this. I'll see. I might do a video on Marvel Rivals because I really have been enjoying that game. But yeah, that's it. See ya.